Hey, what's up? Ian here, and this is the ND Planet Single Dynamic Driver IEM, and it's only $20 US. It's available on ND Audio website, AliExpress. Do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. And as you can see, I've opened it, I've used it, and I'm here to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions about this ND Planet. First, let's go through the accessories. This is the box that it comes in. At the back, there are some specifications, so let me just read that out to you. Sensitivity is 112, impedance is 32 ohms, and the frequency range is 20 to 40,000 hertz. Now, inside the box, you'll get a user guide, 3 sets of ear tips, cable, and the IEM itself. Now, the ear tips, the stock ear tips, I wouldn't use it. All right, I don't suggest using it. I mean, it's 20 bucks, so I'm not expecting too much from the ear tips. So I would suggest to get your own ear tips. Cable as well. I mean, it's a 4-core cable, but yeah, not a fan of this cable, not a fan of the ear hooks. So I would suggest to use a third-party cable. It terminates with a 3.5 headphone jack. It comes with or without the microphone and a volume rocker and play and pause button. Ear hooks are shaped pretty oddly, didn't fit my ears, and they're very stiff, and it keeps yanking the IEM out from ears, so I'm not a fan of this cable. And the IEM itself. So let's talk about the design and build quality of this. In terms of build quality, as you can see, it's made from PVC plastic. It's not even resin. So it's actually, well, it feels a little bit cheap, right? But it's quite durable, to be fair. And the design is actually quite unique because it's got this planetary kind of design. You know, it looks like a globe or the Earth when you look at it from space. So it's pretty unique, but it's, you know, not well built, I would say. The inner shell is pretty okay as well. You can see the entire 12 millimeter beryllium plated driver in there. So yeah, pretty cool. And then the nozzle is part of the shell itself. Okay, now let's talk about the overall technical performance for this. I mean, main thing is how it sounds, right? So $20, I would say, is pretty average. Yeah, in terms of the overall technical performance, I would give it maybe a 5 out of 10, but it's pretty okay for that price. In terms of soundstage, it's pretty natural. It's not too wide. It's not very transparent as well. I would say it's not intimate. So I would say it's somewhere, you know, natural sounding. In terms of imaging, sound separation, layering, well, it's all right. I would say it's actually pretty decent. In terms of sound separation and imaging is pretty natural. In terms of staging, the placement of the vocals and the instruments and the percussions, and the overall layers is not too spaced out, but then again, it's not too claustrophobic as well. It's not too intimate, so it's pretty natural. Now, in terms of detail retrieval on these, it's all right. I mean, it's not much details can be picked up because maybe because of the tuning, but it's pretty clear, I would say, in terms of the overall details. It's clear, but it's not audible sometimes in terms of the nuances. Yeah. In terms of the overall resolution, it's also pretty all right. It's not the most resolving, but for 20 bucks, I'm not expecting too much from these IEMs. All right, now let's talk about the tone and timbre. Is wow, okay, I like this tone and timbre. For certain times when I'm really, you know, in the mood, this gives me a very musical tone and timbre. It's very matured, it's warm, it's so fuzzy, it's so smooth. It's a very nice and soothing type of tone and timbre. It's very woody as well. So if you want something very warm, these IEMs will give it to you. Okay, in terms of the sound signature, this I would say is more harmonious with a modification to the treble itself, and it's a little bit bloated in the mids, the bass. Okay, so in terms of the sub bass, now the sub bass on this is so powerful, it's so deep, it's very textured, and you can hear and you can feel the sub bass. I love the sub bass on this. It goes really extended, and it's very satisfying. It's got a very satisfying sub bass, and I think for those of you who likes bass, this is going to satisfy you. But it's not overly tuned to a point whereby it's just the bass. There are still room for the mids to shine, but it's got a very strong and very present sub bass in terms of the rumble. Now, in terms of mid bass, it's a little bit overly bloated, but it's not muddy, right? It's not muddy to that sense, but it's actually quite punchy and very impactful. At times, on busier tracks, it bleeds into the mids. So in terms of mid bass, not a big fan, but you know, they could tune down that mid bass a little bit, and that would be perfect. Now, in terms of the mids, it's recessed, no doubt, but it's still clear. Instruments and vocals alike, especially male vocals, they sound really good, really present with that tonality as well, presence as well. Female vocals will lack a little bit of shine, but male vocals, they sound really good. And for instruments, well, wind instruments, they don't really shine on this IEM, but strings, they sound really great on this IEM. In terms of pinna gain, this is actually a very smooth pinna gain. The transition to the pinna gain is actually very polite, I would say. There's no odd peaks, or it's not spicy, it's not too intense, it's not sibilant as well. So I would say it's pretty executed well in terms of the pinna gain. It's very comfortable to listen to, especially you know, songs that has got very harsh music, right? But this one does not bring out or extends that harshness. So this gives me a very smooth sound. Now, in terms of the treble, treble is actually very well extended. It's a pretty good, I would say, tolerable type of treble. The only gripe I have about this treble is a little bit too dark for me. The sparkle is there, but it's a muted kind of sparkle. It's not very airy, it's all right, but you know, it's very tolerable, it's very smooth, it's clean as well. So for those of you who are sensitive to treble, you know, and sibilants, then you know, this is actually a very good option for that. But if you want a bit more sparkle, a bit more energy to the treble, then this may not be the IEM for you. All right, so what I think, I mean, 20 bucks, I would say this is a pretty decent IEM, right? It sounds good, right? The tuning is actually pretty all right, very harmonious, with a little bit of modification to the treble, and overall a very easy IEM to adapt to, especially if you listen to mainstream music like pop songs, trance, techno, those kind of mainstream music. But if you listen to classical, orchestras, operas, then this may not be the IEM for you. Or even like vocals, right? This is not a vocal IEM. It's not for those type of genre of music. But if you just listen to, you know, your top 20s or top 10s, then this is actually a very good IEM to get, you know, throw it in your bag, 20 bucks, and you can pull it out anytime to listen to your songs when you're on the go. Okay? Right, so that's my overall thoughts and opinions about this ND Planet. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.